Hello everyone, this is Adnan again with Canis training videos. Now this is part 6 of Exchange Server 2010 training. In this video we're gonna go through Hub Transport Server role. Hub Transport Server role is responsible for transportation of emails. So far we have seen mailbox role, we have seen CAS role. Now we're gonna see Hub Transport Server role. Overall in Exchange there are two transport roles, mail flow transport role. One is hub, the other one is edge transport server. Hub is mainly works internally within the organization, whereas edge is used in DMZ for external emails. But in small companies where you do not have edge, the hub can also be used for external emails, but then you'll have to create your own transport rules inside. Now, hub transport server role, always remember, is responsible for transportation of email from exchange server, from mailbox to mailbox, from exchange server to another exchange server, from one organization to another organization, from internet to internal email, from internal to internet email, or external email. So basically, all types of transport is happening through hub. Now within Hub there are two things. There is one called messaging policies, and it has transport rules. Now messaging policies are used to kind of control and protect your email traffic. For example, you want to protect, first of all, messaging policies are required sometime by law for regularity requirements. And for example, the messaging policies would prevent inappropriate content from entering and leaving from your organization. It will filter confidential information, track and archive specified messages. Also, if your company has a disclaimers to attach to each message, this is again done through messaging policies. Now, secondly, transport rules. Transport rules are like if you want to set up. So, transport rules are like rules in Outlook. For example, you are receiving emails to your mailbox, but you want to send an automatic copy of that email to another person. We can create transport rules in Exchange. So whenever you create a transport rule, and I'm going to show you how to create a transport rule, and then we're going to see an example. A transport rule consists of condition, exception, and action. For example, transport rule condition applies to messages to which action is applied. For example, in condition we can say if the email message is to, or if the email message is from, or if there is a certain word in subject, if there is size of email. So this is the condition. If size of the email is more than 10 MB, what should it do? Delete that email, or maybe reject that email. The action will be reject. So based on condition we can take action. And sometimes we can say, okay, if the email is from having a subject confidential, then maybe protect that email. Exceptions are also used if we want to exclude some of the messages that fulfills the condition. So based on condition, now I can see 100 messages, but from 100 messages I want to exclude some messages that are less than 5 KB inside. I can create an exception. So whenever we create a transport rule, we have three things to configure: condition, exception, and action. I'm going to show you that how it works. So for example, if you need to create a transport rule from PowerShell, it will be just this command, new transport rule. And it will be something like new transport rule. You can name it. For example, we're going to name it Canis TR1, transport rule 1. And here you're saying sent to. So here, whenever an email sent to M. Ali, add to recipient M. Adams. So Mike Adams, we have another account. So we're saying whenever an email sent to this guy, copy of that email should also be sent to this person. Exception: if the email is sent from administrator and sent to M. Ali, copy will not be sent to this guy. So this is exception. If we need to create the same rule from within Hub Transport Server, we need to go to EMC or organization configuration, Hub Transport, and rule, and we can create that rule. To verify the rule, we can log into O1. I'm going to show you that how it works. Now, Hub Transport Rule Exchange has two transport servers: Hub Transport Server, just like we discussed a minute back, and Edge Transport Server. Hub Transport Server is used for internal emails. whereas Edge Transport Server is used for external email. Now within the transport server, there are two very important configurations. One is send connector and the other one is accepted domain. In very short terms, I'm not going to read all this to you. Send connector is used whenever we need to send out email to a certain domain. We must have a send connector. So all transport servers have connectors. They have send connectors. They have receive connectors. So all the Exchange servers have, for internal mail transfer, we don't see those connectors. Those all connectors, send connector, receive connectors are there, but they are hidden. They are known as implicit connectors. So for internal mail transfer, you do need send connector or receive connectors, but those are implicit, those are hidden, those are automatically working. You don't need to do anything for internal from one server to another server mail transportation. But whenever an email needs to be sent outside the domain, you must have a send connector, and later on we're going to check that out. And then send connector are configured like this. We're going to go here, organization, hub transport server, send connector, create a send connector. Then you have accepted domain. Just like send connector, we need to create an accepted domain. So if you need to accept anything from outside to your organization, you must create an accepted domain. So in the next video, we're going to see that we're going to send and receive email from another organization. So we need an accepted domain. Accepted domain is always required. Exchange server organization can accept messages for a particular email domain only if the domain is set up as accepted domain. Now, accepted domain are of three types: authoritative or authoritative, internal relay, and external relay. Authoritative is Exchange organization that hosts the mailbox. So basically, your own domain, you are authoritative for that. So Kenneth.pri, I'm authoritative for that domain. Internal relay is I can receive message for another Exchange domain and then forward that message to another domain within my organization. External relays, I can receive email for a certain domain in my Exchange and then I'll send it to another organization, forward that all messages externally to another organization. In all these cases, one thing that is common is accepted domain. They're all accepted domain. Go into EMC, organization configuration, hub transport server role, accepted domain. We can create accepted domain for a certain domain that we own. That we own. So important thing is with accepted domain that you should own them, or maybe you should partner them. For example, in accepted domain, you cannot configure Gmail or Hotmail as an accepted domain as we don't own them. So let's now jump to our practical. So we can see Hub Transport Server under organization. We can also see Hub Transport Server under server. Under server, it does not have so many settings. It just have a receive connector. Now receive connector, it's a connector. Since it is a transport server, it is responsible to send and receive emails from from other Exchange servers. So under server configuration, it has only one setting, which is receive connector. Most of the time, we don't have to do anything on this server other than to select the authentication, but we'll leave it as is. We don't need to change. The only thing I need to allow is anonymous users access on a receive connector, especially in this test network. So that's if this is done on both of the servers, then it is okay. So once this is done, I'm going to make sure that it is done on the second server as well. So that's the only thing we need to do in receive connector. Now most of our work will be done here. So sometimes it stops responding. So most of the work will be done here. So within Hub Transport Server, first one is remote domain. Now remote domain does one function, and that is to deliver out of office messages. For example, sometimes when users are out of office, when they are on vacation, they want to set up a message in their mailbox. As soon as they receive an email from anyone, they want their mailbox to automatically reply them with out of office messages. Now, this is the place where it is configured in your Exchange organization. If you say allow none, so it means you're not allowing any out of office messages from your organization. But we'll keep it to this so that it should be able to allow out of office messages to other emails to in reply to the emails that are sent to people who are on vacation. There are two other options. This is just to allow out of office messages for 2003 or legacy clients. So we're gonna just stick with this. So no changes here. This is how would it be? What would be the messaging format on this? And that's it. We don't need to make any changes to this. Now, secondly, we need to go into accepted domain. Accepted domain, in this list, you will have all those domains that you are somehow owner of that domain. So we are owner of canas.pri. That's why automatically it is there. So all emails sent to your organization, if this accepted domain is there, you will be able to receive those emails and send it to the required recipient. So we're not making any changes here. Later on, we're gonna connect to another Exchange organization within this Exchange just to simulate email flow between two organizations. At that time, we're going to create an accepted domain here. Now, within email policies, just like we discussed before, email actually in this is a policy that makes up your email address. So if I go next here, for now it is not enabled. At the moment, your email policy is just saying that all email addresses will be with the name canas.pri, and they'll be having just alias in there. It should be starting with alias. So basically this email policy makes up the email address. Now, if you need to make any changes to that email address, you can make changes to that. For example, let's say you want to make your email address to start with first name and last name, or you want to make your email address will be just the first name and initial, so J Smith or John S. Or so basically this is how you make. For now, default is that for now whatever your alias is combined with the domain name will be your email address. So this is actually this policy. If I cancel this, I'm not making any changes. This is applied to all mailboxes. So if you go to any mailbox here and then go to email address, basically this is how the email address is made. And here it is saying automatically update email address based on email address policy. So it has a default policy, and default policy is right here within Hub Transport Server. We're not making any changes to this. Now, let's say for all email addresses, you want to attach another email address to them. So what you can do is you can go create another email address. For example, this company has acquired another company and want to provide an email address for that company as well. For example, Canas owns let's see xyz.pri. Now, as soon you need to write this here, and secondly, what we can do is we can say next. Here, what do you want to do with this? So it will apply to all recipient or only some recipient. Maybe you want to apply it maybe Toronto, Ontario recipient, or maybe just Calgary recipient, or maybe two of them. So here we're saying apply to all recipients. Now what do you want to do? Here I'm saying that whenever an email address is created for someone, also create an email for xyz.pri. Here I'm going to add this and then next, and it will be applied immediately here and done. Now here it's saying SMTP, this is invalid because the reference domain there isn't configured as a, so we need to configure an accepted domain for this as well. So before doing this, let me go to accepted domain. I'll create an accepted domain for this. I'm saying that I'm an authoritative domain for this. So I'm going to create an accepted domain. Done. Now I'm going to go back to email policy, and here I'm saying that create an email policy with this. So all users will be having this extra address attached to their emails as well once this applies. So again, same thing. Here, create an email address with this, done. And this time, let's see if it can create. So it is created successfully. Now, once this is created successfully, all we need to do is go to the mailbox and right here. Now, if we check the email addresses, now we see automatically a second email address for each user. So, and likewise, if you want to give 10 email addresses to all your company users, they can use 10 email addresses. Now, we never created emails for them, but as soon as you go there, because policy applies to all of them, you would see email address for all of the users based on this policy here. So this is where email policy. Now your question might be, why would you need to provide two email addresses to one person? Guys, sometimes when one company buys another company and they want to use the email address of the other company for, let's say, maybe 1 year, because their all marketing is attached to their other company name, but they also want to bring in their new company email address as well. So most of the time, for the first 6 months to 1 year or 2 years, company's employee will be using both email addresses. So in that case, now it will be difficult to go into each employee and give them second email address, although we can do that. Although I can go into each employee's email address and I can add a special email address. But then if there are 5,000 people, how can you do it at once? So in order to do it once, we can create a email policy here. So email policy is used to provide secondary email addresses for all your employees. And in order to create this, first you need to have an accepted domain, meaning you should be an owner of that other domain. And secondly, you should create a policy. This policy, as soon as you create it, this policy will be applied to all users and you can see the email addresses given to them. Now, after this, there are some transport rules. Transport rules, we discussed that transport rules are rules that are used to kind of, if you need to edit the transport in any manner. So meaning, why would you need to transport? So for example, here, these people are sending and receiving email from each other. If they are sending and receiving an email from each other, it's working fine. And let's say I am logged in with Muhammad Ali here, and in this server I'm logged in with, let's log in here with another user. So here I'm gonna log in with administrator, or let's say another person, as Heather, and the password is password. So here I'm logged in with A Heather, and on this server I'm logged in with Muhammad Ali. Now from here I'm gonna send an email to A Heather, and from here I'm gonna send email to M Ali. Now it's a bit slow. So if we send email to each other, normally it should go as required. So I'm going to send email saying P, and I'm going to send to this user, and on this side should be able to see that email, I received that. So from here I'm going to send an email to Ali, M Ali, going to say you, email is sent, and on this side you should be able to receive it. So I received it. Now in some cases where you need to have some special rules in place, for example, I need to do this. I need to kind of say that whenever any email communication happens between Ali and Heather, from Ali and Heather, a copy of that email should be sent to the administrator. So this is where we create transport rules. I mean, this is just one example. Transport rules can be of many. So this is what we're going to apply. We're going to say any email communication between Ali and Heather, a copy of that email should be sent to another person. And here I'm going to open the third person's email to see that if the copy goes to that person. Let's connect to another email address. Now in this example we're actually seeing Hub Transport Server in action. So here I'm logging in with administrator. The administrator is here. Now I'm going to send email from Ali to Heather. A copy will automatically be sent to this account. So let's do that. So all we need to do, go into Hub Transport Server, then go into transport rule. Here I'm going to create new transport rule. Now within transport rule I'm going to name it copy to admin from Ali. So enable the rule. Here I'm going to say from people. So from people and then select who. So I'm saying that whenever an email from Ali, actually it's now taking that wrong email address. So that doesn't exist. This won't work. I'm going to select again. So it's actually checking this as a default. Let me fix that first. So cancel. I need to delete this because then it will affect our mail flow because this doesn't even exist. So delete. I cannot delete this unless I delete the policy here. I mean, I could have changed the priority to lowest on that other, it would work, but here I'm gonna just delete this. So that was just for testing. So going back to our transport rule, here I'm gonna create a new transport rule saying that this is let's say spying on Ali. I mean, this won't be in your exchange. It could be some good reason as well. So spying on Ali, I'm just gonna say that from people. Here I'm gonna say add Ali. So this time when I go, it takes the right email address. So okay. So so from Ali, or we're gonna say sent to Ali. Any email that is sent to him or he sends it anywhere, we need to add that email. So okay, what is this? Hold on. So it is sent to Ali. Okay, done. So from him or sent to him, any types of email. Now here action, what do you want to do? We want to copy that email. So if you go down, copy messages to this address. So here I'm going to say send a copy to administrator. So we created it. Now if there are any exceptions to this, so exception can be anything. Let's say if the email accepts when the message is from people, here I'm going to say if the message is from, let's say, N Nasir Shah, then do not send. So now it says any email that is sent from here or to this person, a copy will be sent here, but if the email is from N Shah to Emily, the copy won't be sent. So we created that rule. It is being created, done. Now the rule is there. So now let's try it. So I'm going to go here in Ali and go to new, and here I'm going to say send it to anyone. Send it to F Heather, and I'm going to say top secret and send. So it is sent, and here I can see this, but here in administrator this should be able to receive the top secret message as well if it is not sent. Now the administrator address is administrator@canis.pri. Let me see if this mailbox is working. So I need to send an email to itself. So sometimes mailbox itself is not working. So test. Yeah, it is working. Now why so top secret? So basically this is not sent. So sometimes you need to do hidden trial. So I'm going to reply to Ali from S Heather. and I'm gonna say open and reply. I'm gonna say message received. Even this message should be copied. It is sent to Ali, should be automatically sent to administrator. So I sent a reply to Ali, and Ali basically received a reply saying message received. Now let's see here. It is copy is still not sent to administrator, and administrator's email address is, let's say, it is administrator@kenneth.pri. Now let's check our transport rule here. So going to the server, transport rule is here. It is enabled. Right click, edit rule. Let's check that again one more time. Here is from people. So Muhammad Ali as this, sent to him, copy the message to administrator@pri, except when the message is from this. So this is all good. Let's see if anything else is required. Sent a member of distribution list, when the managed by sender, nothing. This rule should work. Maybe you should give it some time. Has been modified. Okay, it's just saying no settings have been modified. So this should be okay. This should be okay. Now, again, let's see. Maybe this rule might apply a bit later. So we're going to come back to this. Now, just like this, we have transport rule. We can have general rule. So general rule is that if you need to send a copy of all messages to a certain mailbox. So for example, here I'm creating a general rule and saying that this is all messages, and I'm setting up a general account as administrator account, and here I'm gonna say send general reports to this. This will be just a report, and the email address will be this. So we're gonna see the reports, also all copy of all messages. So create it. Now general rule is created. This is for that any messages on this server in this organization, when they are sent from one user to another, copy will be sent to this. So let's try it. So here I'm going to create a new message, sending it to, let's say N Shah, test account. I'm going to say R, and it's sent to N Shah, and here a copy should be sent here. So basically I'm not receiving anything. Let me send a new email to M. Ali. Nothing is working. What's wrong with this? Yay. Okay, so send to M. Ali. Ali immediately received it, but here administrator is not receiving anything. Now I think there is something wrong with this account. So let me change the transport rule to another account, and here I'm gonna just sign out from this account. Open, connect again, or maybe let me try re-logging in. No, there is no use. So I'm gonna log in with Kenneth/N Shah, and then log in with this account. So first time logging in, I do see that a message from Muhammad Ali is sent here, and here if I go in this, let me change my transport rule and saying that a copy should be sent to N Shah instead of administrator. So here I can say a copy should always be sent to this guy, although I'll leave administrator here as well. And so done. Do I have anything special in exception? What is an exception? In exception it says it's just this. Okay, that's fine. Now let me try again. Here let's send a new email from here, from M. Ali to S header, or from S header to MLE. So here I'm gonna say MLE and message is W send, and we'll see here it receives that message, and here our transport rule is not working. Why transport rule is not working? Let's quickly check that out, because sometimes you might be stuck here as well. We're gonna say exchange 2010 transport rule not working. So transport rule not working. Let's quickly see if we can find in 1 minute. Here it's saying and here it's saying to add to this I get command. I've done pipeline and get transport agent. It's saying something. Here it's saying something as well. Verified if I create a rule and 7 ain't flexible. Then here that is what I have done. However, I want to go into this rule and not. So here it's saying environment you have to have transport server. No, this is not. So sometimes not all articles are sub transport rule not working. Let's check it out here. It's saying according to the command there is no specific conditions, and here it says copy paste GUI. So description, let's log in, answer. No, it's not here. Transport rules. Here it's saying scope relationship. No, nothing. So you see many people are complaining about transport. So this is most of the time hit and trial. So I figured this out. There is a delay in Hub Transport Server updating the rule. It's only updates every 4 hours unless you start and stop Hub Transport Server. Each of them maintain a recipient cache, and that is okay. So that is what I was suspecting too. It's just a delay. So otherwise it should work. So here stop and start. So what we'll do is we'll go back, and it's not here. It's not updating the transport rule. We'll go back here and we'll go to services, and within services we can go and first of all we'll see that where is our transport service, which is this one, exchange transport. So we're gonna restart. So this is restarted, and now let's send an email to MLE. MLE, we're gonna say Z, go to here, check, it has received Z, and here it is still not sent. Let's go into this Hub Transport Server and restart the transport service, or maybe we might need to restart it once. Now you're not creating transport rules every day, so it's not an issue to restart the server, especially in test environment. And here, if I go here within Hub Transport Server, these are all my Hub Transport servers. Now so we'll wait for this. I think this is just a delay, otherwise our rule is all enabled. We have a general rule as well. Then we have send connector. Now send connector, accepted domain, you must be an owner of that domain. You should be ready to accept messages. Send connector, as we discussed, we must create send connector for external domains. So later on in the next video I'm going to show you email transportation from this organization to another organization, and we're going to create send connector. For now, just remember, we must have send connectors for whenever you need to send email out of your organization to another organization. Internally, email exchange between all the exchange servers. For example, I have 3 mailbox server and there will be many emails between this. This is all done through a send connector, but those send connector are invisible. They are known as implicit. So if somebody asks you where are the send connectors for internal email, they are already here, they are already working transparently, but we need a send connector for sending email out of this domain. Then we have Edge subscription. If you have a Edge transport server, this is where we connect Edge transport server with Hub transport server. Then you have global settings, and global setting contains some transport settings, which is basically in this complete exchange organization, the maximum receive size will be 10 MB. Maximum send size will be 10 MB, and maximum number of recipient will be 5,000. And then you have a transport dumpster that has the maximum size per mailbox will be 18 MB per database, and maximum retention time will be 7 days. Now this means that each hub transport server keeps a transport dumpster, and the database size will be 18. Maximum retention time is 7 in this case. So this is what Hub Transport Server is. In the next video, I'm going to show you Hub Transport Server in action. So in which we're going to do a transport of email from one server to another. Thank you for watching this email. I'll see you in the next email. Thank you for watching this video. I'm going to see you in the next video. Thank you so much.